Good evening and thank you for joining us. An Ocala man is behind bars for having 2,600 pounds of printed copies of child pornography. TV 20's Taylor Simpson tells us why a detective on this case says this is a problem across the nation.
Sheriff's deputies served a search warrant on Paul Zittel's home, and inside they say they found more than 50 boxes filled with printed images. In January, a detective with the Marion County Sheriff's Office was tipped that files of child porn were uploaded online. The IP address came back to 72-year-old Paul Zittel.
The main difference in this one is that it is actually all in printed physical form, whereas a lot of times we're seeing it on, thumb drives or computers in a digital format.
Sheriff's deputies showed up to his home on Thursday and found more than 200,000 printed images in his bedroom and office.
I don't think no one, the right man, want that much copies of one thing, especially something that can get you in trouble.
Investigators say Zittel would escort visitors who went into his room. I asked Detective King if anyone who stopped by had suspicions about what Zittel hid.
Were able to give us all kinds of information. So I don't know if they had a suspicion or not, but at the end of the day, we were able to backtrace exactly who it was that was finding those images online and printing those out.
Detectives say the images were stacked in boxes and the printer on his desk showed obvious signs of heavy use.
What I recommend for a person like that, he need help mentally.
King says there's been an increase in child porn cases in Marion County because cybersecurity officials are cracking down on what is being uploaded online.
Always have tabs on what your kids are doing, because what they can get into in the internet in 10 seconds can lead to a world and a lifetime of trauma and problems.
Zittel was arrested and charged with 25 counts of possession of child pornography. Taylor Simpson, TV 20 News.